Hi, I'm Michael, and this is California. And right now, the clock is ticking for Congress and the White House to find common ground for the next stimulus package. And at this rate, it isn't clear they're going to be able to put together a stimulus package before we all hit that CARES Act cliff next week. That's when all the CARES Act provisions like extended unemployment and eviction protections are scheduled to end. With that urgency of the CARES Act cliff and the unlikelihood of Congress getting a bill done in time, there is some talk of a real quick side bill to temporarily extend unemployment benefits until a full bill can be fully negotiated. This side bill, would only be for a short-term extension of the extra PUA money, that's $600. So today, we're going to talk about what is the likelihood of a one-time short-term unemployment extension bill before the next big stimulus package. Now, this is your 5-minute daily dose, so let's make it quick. Oh, also, don't forget to like and subscribe. On Wednesday, there was some reports of a potential temporary extension for additional $600 PUA money being discussed behind closed doors with Republican senators. Since the beginning of the pandemic, unemployment benefits have been a divisive issue. This is because some states have been hit disproportionately hard by the lockdown, while others, smaller and less densely populated states, have been relatively unscathed. So in those states, it is easy for senators to try to find ways to try to force people to get back to work, usually by removing as much of their unemployment benefits as possible. And states in general are likely going to be faced with massive tax revenue deficits the longer and longer people stay out of work. Now, on the other hand, Republican senators of states who have high pandemic rates feel the pressure from all sides of their people to ensure that they can stay home and stay safe until the pandemic rates decrease or a vaccine is found. On Wednesday, Senator John Brasso from Wyoming told reporters that temporary unemployment extensions is still in the mix, but there's still ongoing discussions about the duration and the amount of the temporary extension. On the other side of the Republican coin, the White House and some top Republican senators are hesitant to pursue a temporary extension of unemployment. The given reason by White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows is, quote, "We're really trying to make sure that we have a comprehensive bill that deals with the issues, and that any short-term extensions would defy the history of Congress, which would indicate that it would just be met with another short-term extension," end quote. Now, although my feeling is that the real reason they do not want a temporary extension to unemployment benefits is because prior to the stimulus package being fully negotiated and finalized, it would give away a lot of the leverage that Republicans and the White House will have when negotiating. Without the unemployment cliff coming up, Democrats would have a lot more breathing space and ability to negotiate from a stronger position for that next stimulus package. Now, one thing that I find really interesting is that the Democrats are essentially inconsequential in this whole process. It's primarily a fight just between Republican lawmakers, and really further highlights the difference between Republican senators who have states that have been mostly unaffected by the pandemic because they have less people in them and they're less dense, who can stand on ideology, versus those senators whose states are being strongly affected by the pandemic, who must stand on the practical necessity of getting extra money out to all of their states unemployed. Undoubtedly, unemployment benefits are a key lifeblood for many Americans who've been forced out of work because of the pandemic and the lockdown. But moreover, it affects everybody. So landlords, other services, essentially all aspects of our American economy. Because these are payments that have been keeping our economy going. And removing them in the hopes that people will just miracle jobs and go back to work when everything is still shut down seems illogical and just really plain mean-spirited. Republican senators must realize that life is very different for those of us in the real world who every day have to decide between risking our health and having enough money to pay for rent and food and gas and housing, and sitting around in a safe, clean office trying to find malicious ways to force people back to work. Yes, of course, people need to get back to work, but it shouldn't be at the expense of their health just so senators can have strong negotiating positions. This has been your 5-minute daily dose, and I hope that you found it interesting or helpful or at least useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we here at California, we know health insurance. So if you have questions about your covered California, your Medicare, your Medicaid, your Medi-Cal, or private health insurance, leave those down below and we'll be happy to make a new video or post for those as well. So other than that, I'm Michael and this is California, wishing you a happy, healthy day.